Spartans, prepare for glory!
Or at least a collective day off? Well. Looks like it's a big week for Uber, am I right? The rideshare app that started in 2009 and has since become one of the biggest, fastest growing companies in the world, posting an estimated revenue of about $2.9 billion just in the first quarter of last year. Well, they decided they want to go public this week, and they're hoping to be valued at an estimated $120 billion. You want to know what else happened today? A group of drivers from places like California, Atlanta, New York, the UK, even Australia, have decided to start a form of civil disobedience towards Uber and Lyft, and that civil disobedience has now snowballed into a full-blown strike. That's right, folks. As of today, May 8th at, I guess, around noon was when it started, Uber and Lyft drivers across the world have decided to stand up in unison and say, "That's jive, we won't drive." Oh my God, I literally just made that up, and I apologize to all of you for it. This move was made in an effort to show disdain and dissatisfaction with the current moves that Uber and Lyft as a platform have been making. Both rideshare services have started a trend of cutting some drivers' pay by as much as a reported 35% per trip. Now, we all know how big business works, and we're all well aware that Uber and Lyft did this in an effort to show that their net profits are at the highest possible margin so that their company can be valued at the highest possible valuation when they decide to go public at some point this week. The unfortunate side effect being that we drivers are taking home less and less than ever before. Now, to be honest, as I'm out and about, I know that there are some conflicting ideas amongst some drivers. Some of them are saying, "Yeah, drivers unite, stand together. We can't just take this without saying something. We are gonna say something." Other drivers are understandably saying, "Hey, we're little guys, we're just the worker bee. Our voices don't matter. Big companies are gonna do whatever they wanna do regardless. There is nothing that we can really do about it." While some still are saying, "You know what? Fuck it. I'm out. I quit." Where do I stand on it? Well, I'll tell you. Now, on the one hand, I've been around the block enough times to know that big companies are going to do whatever it is that they're going to do. They're going to do whatever it is that's in their best interest, even if it's at the expense of their very own workers, the very people who put them in position to make the moves that they make today. And with that concept that we all know in mind, it may be futile, even counterproductive, to speak out against a corporate giant that, at best, won't hear anything that you have to say, and at worst, could continue to marginalize you even further off the table or just completely wipe you off the map altogether. I mean, just think about it. Uber and Lyft as a company currently are spending billions, I'm not making that number up, literal billions of dollars to find a way to remove human drivers altogether, or at least offer that as an option, even though their first round of self-driving car, the testing actually killed someone. So when you think about it along those lines, I can understand how a majority of drivers might be apathetic about this strike, choosing to continue driving today, not feeling one way or the other about it, thinking, hey, if I don't drive, that's really not gonna hurt Uber as a company's pockets. And someone's gonna be out there getting all this money that I'm leaving on the table. In fact, some reports today are saying that up in New York, everything is business as usual. All the Uber drivers are looking like they're out there in their regular numbers over at LaGuardia Airport. Now, this report was taken before noon, so I don't know what it looks like at the time of this taping. So that is a clear-cut example of some drivers saying, hey, look, either way, I need to make money for my family. And I get that. I'm not knocking you for it. However, if you're asking me how I personally feel, well, the little anarchist in me feels a little differently than that. See, in my life, I've personally been the David to countless Goliaths over the years, so I know what it's like to face seemingly insurmountable odds and keep pushing anyway. Even though there's a chance I probably would lose, I keep fighting anyway. I keep on going. To put it simply, I'm a fighter. I'm a natural dissenter. I was born to be that way. I was always meant to be a thorn in somebody's side. I can't help it. And if we're being honest, yes, I truly do believe, and I think most reasonable people would agree, that what Uber's doing is wrong. It's not fair. And yeah, I know, this is how big business works. This is how big business stays big business. But to be honest, I can't help it. I gotta at least say something, even if it falls on deaf ears. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is just the makeup of a fighter. No matter what the scenario, no matter what the outcome is obviously gonna be, you gotta fight. Even if you know you're outnumbered. Even if you know you're gonna lose. Think of it this way. There was a time when nobody thought R. Kelly could be touched. I mean, if we're being honest, he was considered the Goliath of his situation. Even with all the evidence that we clearly had in front of us, even with all his accusers, even with all his questionable behavior, after a while, a lot of us were kind of baffled, wondering how is it this man hasn't seen the inside of a prison cell, or at least had his career stalled. But over time, a growing minority became the majority. Enough voices came together to make enough noise that enough people had to listen. And the pressure began to build as different revenue streams were suddenly taken away from Mr. Kelly. Other business ventures, other entities in the music business began to walk away from him and turn their backs on him. New charges kept being put on him. The walls kept closing in and the ground kept shrinking beneath him. The pressure continued to build until eventually we got,
Yo, killing me with this.
So I say all this to say, I understand this is an uphill and probably futile argument. If I keep my app off today, is it gonna make a difference? Probably not. Is Uber or Lyft even gonna care? Probably not. Are half the people who claim they're gonna strike today actually gonna do it? Probably not. Again, I told you, I can't help myself. I don't mind being David to Uber's Goliath. I don't mind ending up stomped into the ground if that means I can get one good shot to punch that nigga in his mouth. I can take pride in the fact that my voice was heard, even if it fell on deaf ears. I can sleep better at night and actually look myself in the mirror knowing that I said something against what I felt was wrong. And to quote one of my favorite semi-fictional characters,
The world will know that few stood against many. And before this battle was over, that even a God King can bleed.
and I, in all honesty, can be proud of that. Even if it's only till midnight tonight.